everyone, it's FoxGlory123 here with a tutorial on how to paint a dapple gray model horse. So first off, we're just going to start with the supplies that you're going to need. First, you're going to need matte finish. You're going to need a little tub of room temperature water. And you're also going to need a smaller tub of room temperature water. Don't ask, you're going to need it. And an eyedropper. Also, you're going to need a large scale of gray colored pastels, and definitely a model horse that is prepped and primed. Ignore the tail. It doesn't have to be primed because that's where you're going to be holding it from, and you're going to end up painting it anyway. Also, don't mind that on my model. It will be painted over with just lots of shading. My finger I was wearing a glove and it actually accidentally touched it when I was priming it. You're going to need just a few brushes, a small one, normal size one for the tail, and a smaller one for markings. Here's the tiny detail brush, very, very small. And also a knife, or just a blade to cut off dust for the pastels. You're also going to need lots of Q-tips. And then you need these various paints. You need snow or just white. You're also going to need paints in this honey brownish color, raw sienna color, flesh tone, the pinkish, a very dark brown, a light creamy color, I use sand, and definitely a black. My black's very old and dirty. Lastly, you're going to need a big piece of cardboard or something that you can work on, and you're going to shave pastel dust onto it and put paints on it. So now that you've hopefully gathered your supplies, these are what we're going to be using first. You're going to need all your pastels right now, one of your smaller brushes, but don't use a brush like this for doing dapples. And don't use Q-tips either. You're definitely going to need your model, and you're going to need your blade. You can do it over your cardboard. It is also a good option to wear gloves, but I'm currently not going to do that. It's so that the oils on your hands don't leave big dark spots on your model. So what you want to do first is take the second darkest pastel in your pack, and you're going to shave a bit of dust off of it. So you just shaved your dust into a little pile. So what you're going to want to do is take some dust and put it on your brush, and just start at the belly, which is where we're going to do our pastels, and we're going to dab it and kind of draw in the pastels, draw in the dapples with our brush. So basically you're just going to draw individual dapples like that. And blow away the dust. Yeah. And I feel like put your middle fingers up like got my middle finger up and it's pointed to the ground. Falling in with my whole entourage, too many of us to count. Tell baby girl I'm on that. Danger, bring your hard hat. Might not get that call back, so where those stories start at. So now that you've done about that much, you want to make sure that they end about there and end about there, and now we're going to make them fade, and we're also going to add detail to make them look not so fish scale. So what you need is a little Q-tip, and you're basically just going to smudge the top and the bottom. So what you want to do is brush it upwards so that it'll fade. And you can also pull it into the other dapples. And you can dab the other ones just a little. but we'll add their detail later. And now for the bottom, you want to pull it down. And around the sides you can do the same. So now it's a little more faded around its edges and more clear. So we're gonna fix up that detail to make it look more fish scale a little later. Less fish scale a little later. So for this model, we want our dapples here, a little there, on the neck, on the other side, the neck here, and down there again. So that's where we're gonna have our dapples on this model. So you just wanna continue this same pattern on the other side.
What am I to you? Am I a joke, your knight or your brother? What am I to you? Do you look down on me cause I'm younger? Do you think that I don't understand? I just wanted us together and to blaze a band. Last night was the most fun I've ever had. Even liked it when the two of you would get mad at each other.
So now you can see the difference. This is unsmudged and smudged. See, the smudged side looks a billion times better than that side. So now basically you just want to smudge it again. So now that both sides of the model are smudged around the edges, it's time for your first layer of matte finish. So I recommend spraying your finish outdoors. So you want to shake it before you use it for 15 seconds, or in my case 2 minutes, since this is a brand new bottle. But I'm gonna shake it 15 seconds now because I already shook it 2 minutes, just 2 minutes ago.
I want you to take over control. I think it's time to let you know.
So when you spray your model, you want to do it in nice, even strokes, just like that, okay? So now we're just gonna wait for it to dry. So now hopefully your layer of matte finish has dried and you have your dapples. So now we want to get dapples for him on his neck, but the neck dapples should be slightly darker. So we're going to use a black. My black is torn to shreds, so I'm going to use my other. So now I have my other black. And I'm just going to shave this one into dust, and I'm going to apply the dapples to the neck.
It's a 2:45, I think I'm going crazy. Out of control now, out of control.
So now that you've finished the dapples on the neck, you're going to take a Q-tip again and just smudge them, but you're gonna do it differently this time. So this time you're again just going to do it at the bottom and around where you did it under here. And then you're gonna go up here. And around the mane, you're gonna draw it like that. So now we have this. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side of the neck. And so now you should have his dapples on both sides done on his neck and on his belly. And now we're going to move on to the dapples on his haunches after you spray him with another layer of matte finish. So now that the finish is dry, you should have this side with those dapples and this side with those dapples. And now you want to add dapples here and add dapples there. And then we'll be ready to do all our shading and markings and continue without the dapples.